Hey everyone, if you stick with us to the end, you will develop a relationship between time and loving yourself first. Let's put this into practice. Let's do it together. Before we get started, I wanted to thank everyone who has supported and shown interest in our content. We are growing fast, and we can't do it without you. We love and appreciate you all. So go ahead and share our channel to someone who might really need this. Follow us on IG for daily motivational content and up-to-date information on prizes just for following or tuning in. Take a look at our merchandise online with new affiliates and collaborations weekly. Come and join us right here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch on Tuesdays around 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And that is subject to change with more platforms to come, so look for us, tune in, and let's have some fun. When you hear this sound, it's time to pay close attention. Chapter 10, Love Yourself First. In the last chapter, we emphasized how important it was to manage time and how important it is with who we share our time with. The indoctrination that mankind has established for us must be let go, for it is time. Should we believe that it's selfish to want what's best for ourselves? The longest relationship you will ever have is the one that you will have with yourself, and no one will know you better than you know yourself. We have to make sure that we're keeping it real and we're being honest with ourselves to keep this factual. But we can't be so quick to be self-proclaimed in areas that we are still working on. You are the one person who will always be there. No one can do it better. The best time to turn to yourself is when there's nothing on the outside that satisfies you. The only person left is the person within yourself. You have to start learning how to enjoy yourself. You have to start talking to yourself. Taking yourself out on dates. You have to buy yourself clothes. Stop fighting yourself. Stop ignoring yourself. Realize that sometimes not even you wants to be around yourself. So how on earth can anyone want to be around you? You want people to accept you the way you are? Well, have you taken a good look in the mirror? Do you listen to what you're supposed to listen to? Whether you make yourself believe something that is not factual to make yourself feel good, or you are not being honest with yourself. It will not evolve into a positive constant on a consistent basis when it comes to behavior. We must learn to be equally grateful for who we were in the past, who you are right now at this very moment, and who you are going to be in order for this to become a reality. If your wants become overwhelming for someone else, you might not deserve this until you understand self-worth. We allow people to dictate our value. We allow people to judge our character when we need their validation the most and they know how much it means to us. That's just giving them too much power. And it's not the type of power that they can handle, because that type of power belongs to you and you're giving it away. There will be things that we have to let go, but it doesn't work unless we move on first. We cannot continue to do the same thing over and over until it walks away from us. And if so, consider it a blessing. We are creatures of habit, and we get comfortable and quickly used to things. We want to believe we have self-love. We think that we are passionate about ourselves. Take care of yourself first so you can share the best you. You cannot pour from an empty cup. What do you really have to offer yourself? Are you drowning in a teaspoon of water? Your value does not decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. Get honest with people about who you are, what you want, and how you expect to be treated. Standards only scare off people not meant for you. Do you ever feel like every single person you care about cares about someone else more than you? A most vital piece of manifestation is believing that you are worthy of what you are asking for. We do not want to compete or be better than anyone except the person we were yesterday. The most difficult thing in the world is to accept yourself as you are, because it goes against your training, education, and your culture. From the very beginning, you have been told who or how you should be, and nobody has ever told you that you are good just the way you are. So now we have to remove all the layers of garbage that we added to protect ourselves throughout the years. I myself have made my life and everyone else's around me unnecessarily complicated. You have to be a tough cookie if you want to succeed at the game of life. Life doesn't begin until you accurately learn how to love yourself first. When the transition comes, you will know what you have to do next. Self-love will literally set you free. When people do not like you, it is not a bad thing. When you are accepting your true self, it will create fear in people who still move from their ego. If you want to grow, heal, and evolve, you must let go of wanting to be liked. Here are some basic standards to live by and be yourself. First of all, if you are not helping others, you're doing life wrong. One day you'll give someone advice you once needed and realize that it no longer applies to you. That is when you know you have grown. Your actions will never change how I do me, but they will change how I do you. Once you develop the it is what it is mentality, a lot of things stop bothering you. The older you get, the more you realize that it is okay to live a life others do not understand. If my wants are too much for you, then that's your problem. Because I'm going to get what I deserve. I know my worth. I am not what you think I am. You are what you think I am. 3 people to be grateful for: who you were, who you are right now, and who you are becoming. What I find ironic is that I lost myself trying to please everyone else, and now I'm losing everyone trying to find myself. We should never make apologies for how we move or what moves us. You will end up looking crazy to everyone who cannot manipulate you. Love yourself first. Just because you love someone is not enough. Love is not all you need. Respect, reassurance, happiness, knowing every day you are your favorite person is what you need. Learn to love yourself instead. You should never chase love, money, or success. Become the best version of yourself, and those things will chase you. You needed to walk away because you needed to love yourself. Everyone is too busy finding faults in you, while you were too busy overlooking theirs. But do not blame anyone for breaking your heart. You broke it by staying where your energy and time was no longer needed or wanted. When you love yourself, your attitude will sound like this: if you want to come into my life, the door is open. You want to get out of my life, the same door is open. All I ask is, do not stand at the door and block the rest of the traffic. We could be so attached to someone and still leave them alone. Remember that we wanted them. We did not need anything from them. You become stronger when you understand that being alone will never cause as much loneliness as being in the wrong relationship. So how do you begin to love yourself? The words "love yourself first" can be perceived in many ways. One person can take it as being selfish, always looking out for yourself at the devaluation of others, or maybe even self-obsession. Some people think that you could only love yourself and others do not mean anything to you, but do not let it get to you. We are talking about love here. So here are some actual steps to consider if you are serious about loving yourself first. Number 1, put yourself first. You should never feel bad about practicing this. It is easy to grow accustomed to putting others first. There will always be a time and a place for this, but you must be selective to those who are deserving. The whole point is to avoid it from becoming habitual that will threaten your mental or emotional well-being. Find the time to flush your mental toilet. Without recharging, you can put an underestimated stress on yourself. We all need to find various methods to reset, unwind, or let go of things that hold us back from progressing. It can be as simple as spending the day in bed or enjoying nature outdoors, but we must find time to dedicate proactively before things become overwhelming. Number 2, it is okay to make mistakes. One of the greatest life lessons comes from learning from the mistakes that we have made. This is an opportunity that so many people seem to undervalue and resist. Whether we see it or not, we are always changing, but we need to align this with personal growth. We need to give ourselves a break from the pressures of trying to be perfect at any age. The older we get, the harder it is to deal with repetitious errors in our lives. But we must stop the bleeding and try a different approach to get different results. Embrace your past and understand that nobody is perfect. So go ahead and make many mistakes, but learn from them. The lessons are priceless. Number 3, stop worrying about others' opinions until you are ready to understand reality. Worrying about what other people feel is a huge waste of time and will only slow down your goal of being the best you. You cannot make everyone happy, and the more people you rely on, the more difficult this transition becomes. There will always be people who think they know you better than you know yourself and what is best for you. Number 4, stop comparing yourself to others. It is natural for us to be competitive and compare ourselves to others, but this can be a very dangerous road. Why should we compare ourselves to others when there is no one that can compare to you? There is no one else on this planet that can come close to who you are. It is easy to mimic anyone, but the hardest thing to do is accept yourself for who you truly are. Rather, focus on yourself and your journey. When you shift your energy towards yourself, it will help you feel free. Number 5, trust that you can and will make better decisions for yourself. When it comes to doing what is right, we doubt ourselves and our abilities to do so when we know in our hearts what is best. You must remind yourself that your feelings are valid regardless of what anyone says. People can sometimes make you feel undervalued, or you are losing touch with reality if they are not getting what they want from you. Who truly knows yourself better than you? So be your best advisor and backup plan to yourself. Number 6, accept every opportunity life gives you or become creative. Stop waiting for the right time for the next big step in your life. Find ways to make it happen or how things really work. When you feel the hindrance of fear, it could also be butterflies telling you it's the right time to seize the moment. When you feel funny, weird, or different, it is your soul getting you ready for the next leap. Instead, we need to embrace everything as a test or an opportunity that presented itself. Although the world goes round and round, some opportunities only present themselves only once in our lives. We want to be able to recognize these blessings and take full advantage of them. This requires working on perception and mindset. Number 7, see the beauty in the simple things of life. Every single day, you should try to notice at least one beautiful, small thing around you. Take a mental note of it and be grateful. Gratitude not only gives your perspective a lift, but it also serves as one of the key elements to help you find joy consistently. We often overlook the importance of the simple things in life and put a lot into things that place unnecessary weight on our shoulders. Number 8, we must be kind to ourselves. Do you remember the phrase, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me"? Well, the reality is, the world we once knew is not the same. We live in a world that is full of narcissistic tendencies, judgment, and extreme criticism. The average age in suicide attempts has decreased immensely, and the sensitivity level has grown into an intolerable state. We need to stop expecting people to be nice, and you need to speak kindly to yourself. Stop calling yourself mean things. Some people celebrate other people's birthday better than they do their own. Celebrate yourself like if every day is your birthday. We have been through too much, come so far, and evolved way too much to forget to celebrate ourselves every day of our lives. Number 9, there is nothing wrong with having feelings. We must allow ourselves to feel things to the fullest. Let us not place limitations in our feelings and learn to like all of our pleasures, pains, and especially fears, so we can learn to understand ourselves. The ultimate realization is that we are not our feelings. We are our actions and reactions after. Possessing something means nothing. It is what you do with it that makes all the difference in your world. Number 10, stop running from your fears. Instead of rejecting your fears, you must confront and learn from them. You need to understand them. Fear is one of the most natural human feelings as we are hardwired to survive. A lot of anxiety comes from fear and lack of clarity. Investigating your fears is one of the healthiest ways to deal with mental health. This will lead to stronger epiphanies and yet more clarity in your life, which can relieve you from even more anxiety. Do you see a pattern here? Number 11. Material items or your body does not dictate your personality. No matter what you wear, what you buy, what you own or possess, it will not bring value to your life. You are valuable because you are you, and there is only one of you in this world, regardless of how similar you are to anyone else. If your body is the main source of your values, then you can expect to have negative thoughts of being inadequate. You could be dealing with self-sabotaging through your own internalized sexism against yourself. This is foundational towards true self-esteem and getting to know the real you. Do not let yourself get distracted from this powerful truth. So dress up with what makes you feel comfortable, because what others think has nothing to do with what it does for you. You should always do what makes you feel confident and brings joy to your life. Number 12, there is no room for toxicity. A very small amount of people take accountability for the negative energy they put out into this world. Even less people take responsibility before it happens to avoid it. If you have people who bring toxicity into your life and they will not take responsibility for it, you may need to step away from them, and that does not necessarily mean forever. We cannot let fear interfere with this action. Do not overlook that this can be painful and too important to ignore, but the result is liberating. We must stop making excuses and forget about seeming rude to protect our energy. It is not wrong to remove ourselves from the company or situations which are draining us. Number 13, practice being bold in public. Your voice is just as important and relevant as anyone else's. Stop playing double dutch when it comes to joining a conversation and act. Speaking your mind is a great habit to possess, but let us not forget to be classy. It is healthy to contribute our thoughts, but only if we bring value to the conversation. Let us be bold and realize the more outspoken you choose to be, the more your confidence grows. Do not wait for permission to take a seat at a table or join in the conversation. We should engage, but we must avoid talking just because we feel the need to say something. My suggestion is that you learn as much as you can about the conversation or topic before you speak your piece. Number 14, stop running from your past. Handle your past issues, but come back prepared so you can confront your issues the right way. Stop being a prisoner of your past. It was a life lesson, not a life sentence. You cannot run, hide, or sweep your past under the rug. Your past is real, and the reason why you feel you cannot get away from it is because it's a part of you. And no matter how fast you move, it will always be there until you confront it, understand, and deal with it head on. Some people will need professional help to get this done, but it is a must. You will not escape your past until you do something about it. You must understand the triggers that contribute to your PTSD about anything. The words that people say or the people who you meet will always remind you that you have not dealt with your past. Take these words with you. As humans, we are wired for survival before anything. Fight or flight. Choose your battles carefully. Regardless of how weak you may feel or think you are, we are all survivors. We are more powerful than we think we are beyond our wildest imagination. We should think about how far we have come and what we have accomplished, what obstacles we have hurdled, and how unnecessarily difficult we make things for ourselves. We need to learn to live the now and not in the past. The only way to do that successfully is to avoid ignoring it. Self-love would not happen immediately, so be patient with yourself. Rome was not built in a day. With time, it will humble itself onto your heart. On your journey to being the best you, there will be many struggles, but these are just stepping stones that you will look back on to appreciate yourself and the beginning of a long, happy, and peaceful life. The vocabulary word for this podcast is indoctrination, which is the process of teaching a person or group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically. What is indoctrination in teaching? Indoctrination means teaching someone to accept a set of beliefs without questioning them. Indoctrination often refers to religious ideas when you are talking about a religious environment that does not let you question or criticize those beliefs. So, is indoctrination the same as brainwashing? Essentially, they both refer to mind control. While indoctrination usually undergoes some time and some slow, gradual procedures to take effect, brainwashing is like a forcefully injected version of indoctrination. So, in layman's terms, indoctrination implies forcibly or coercively causing people to act and think based on a certain ideology. I want to thank everyone who is following us and has become part of the Omega family. We love and appreciate you all. As you know, we have a deep admiration for those who genuinely want to grow and live above the norm. We are here to offer enlightening information about life and its many challenges. We also offer an array of business consulting strategies to maximize your work production, promotion, marketing, and to lift the spirits of your company staff. We also offer personal consulting through our Life program. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitch for daily motivational content and chances to win cash and nice prizes just for tuning in. Right here on YouTube for our show called P.S. I Love Me. Now on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Subject to change, so tap in and check out the weekly schedule for the show times and events.